Dozens of African heads of state and governments are due to gather in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for the Africa Union Annual Summit this weekend. The leaders meet annually to assess progress in resolving some of the continent's challenges. This year, the Union gathers amidst a variety of issues confronting the continent, including armed conflicts in member nations and a wave of military coups. Since mid-2021, the AU's Peace and Security Council has suspended Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Guinea, Gabon and Sudan because of unconstitutional changes of governments. Recently, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Moussa Faki Mahamat, suggested that member states should delegate more powers to the Commission to enable the African Union work more effectively. So, what is the role of the African Union? The African Union is a continental group made up of all countries in the continent. It was officially inaugurated in 2002 as the successor to the Organization of African Unity, which was founded in 1963 when African countries were gaining independence. The main objective of the OAU was to end colonialism and foster African unity. The OAU was made up of 32 independent African countries at the time. More than 20 other countries later joined by the time AU was established. The African Union's main goals are to foster peace, security and stability across the continent, to advance democracy and good governance, to promote and safeguard human and people's rights in conformity with the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and other applicable human rights treaties. The African Union has its headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, with both the political and administrative bodies. The Assembly of the African Union comprises of all AU member states' heads of state or government and is the organization's highest decision-making body. The African Union Commission, AUC, serves as the AU's secretariat, overseeing the Union's day-to-day activities. Its functions include representing and defending the AU's interests as directed and mandated by the Assembly and Executive Council. The chairperson of the African Union is the ceremonial head of the African Union, elected by the Assembly of Heads of State and Government for a one-year term that rotates among the continent's 5 regions. A candidate must be chosen by consensus or at least 2/3 of votes. The president of Comoros, Azali Assoumani, is the current chair of the AU. According to the African Union Charter, any African country wishing to join the Union must notify the chairperson of the AU Commission. Then, member countries vote on the application and a decision is taken based on simple majority. On the other hand, any member state wishing to exit the Union must submit a written request at least 1 year before such exits take effect. The African Union collaborates with a number of regional groupings of African states known as regional economic communities, namely Arab Maghreb Union, Community of Sahel-Sahara States, East Africa Community, Economic of Central Africa States, Economic Community of West African States, Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Southern Africa Development Community, and Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. The African Union relies on annual payments from member nations and help from multilateral donors to finance its operations. The African Union's main partners are the United Nations and the European Union. In 2021, the AU had a total approved budget of more than $623 million, about 32% of which was to be financed through member state contributions and 65% from external partners. Similarly, according to the African Union, 2/3 of its budget in 2023 came from external sources. The continental body has achieved several successes. It has given a successful negotiation mechanism for settling internal problems, as well as a platform for African countries to express their interests and concerns in the international arena. It has also developed the African Continental Free Trade Area aimed at easing trade barriers within the continent. Over the years, the African Union has also deployed peacekeeping missions to some of its member states facing security challenges. According to the African Union, its upcoming summit in Ethiopia will focus on several issues, including peace and security, trade and integration, education and skills, agriculture and climate change governance, and human rights, as well as women and youth empowerment.